recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zahkia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes a pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
I am wonderful. I am also here today with Nick Groves. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Nick. We have 2 amazing guests, generals, in fact. We have a general battle here. First up, Mr. Dev Thakur is with us. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. Second up, we have Mr. Steve Ellison. Hello, Steve.
G'day, Jonathan. Thanks for having me on.
Good day indeed. All right, let's get to know each of you a little bit better. Dave, we'll start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
All right. So I'm originally from the Philly area, but for the last 12 years or so, I'm from New Hampshire. I'm a psychiatrist here. I didn't plan on what I was going to say in terms of something interesting. I've been getting back into pub trivia. We have sort of a regular team going, so that's
nice.
fun. And, we don't always win, but last time we crushed, so I'm still riding high from that.
You're usually, a lot of times you've recorded and you're at work in buildings. Mm-hmm. Is this actually home base today?
This is home base. This is the bookshelves in my bedroom.
How many guitars are behind you here?
There's 2 are mine. There's a classical... actually 3. There's a classical and electric, and then a nylon string, and a steel string. And then one of the smaller ones you can see is my son's electric guitar that he just got for Christmas.
Ooh, so do you play electric guitar, or do you play guitar, or do you just collect guitar?
He just likes looking at them. Yeah.
I mean, it's a valid collection.
Yeah, I don't think I'm good enough to perform for people, but I play. I don't know if you guys know Musician or Rocksmith. I like messing around with those and just
those are great.
Playing on my own.
I love that.
It's like Rock Band, but with a real guitar instead of a controller.
I wanted to do that, but I created this show instead. And it literally, I got the 2 at the same time. I got podcasting stuff and I got Rocksmith, and I never played Rocksmith because I was too busy doing the podcasting. It was easier for me.
This seems to be working for you, so.
I can't play guitar.
Yeah. Were you given the podcasting stuff, or were you... was it a gift? You should try this, or
no. No, I had.
You went out and bought them both on the same day, sort of thing.
I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit. No, Chris and I did rudimentary podcasting stuff in 2013, and then he didn't have time to edit, and I was getting my master's, and so once my divorce happened and my master's was finished, that's when I just purchased the stuff I needed. But I'd been researching for a while.
Okay.
Well, Dave, it's great to have you here, you and your guitar collection. Steve, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Yes, Steve Ellison, originally from Sydney, Australia. I have not lived there since the beginning of 2010. Been a long and winding road since then. Spent 9 years as a hybrid data scientist / travel director. Was based out of London, Vienna, Zagreb during that time. I've since relocated to the United States, or North America, more generally. Lived in Toronto for a period of time, San Francisco, Tulsa, but now live in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought you were still in Tulsa too.
No, those 102-degree summers in Tulsa are a little bit cold. I prefer the 108s of San Antonio.
I thought San Antonio had elevation. They're not cooler than Tulsa?
No, it is pretty dang warm in San Antonio. But really enjoy living there. Consider myself a true Texan now. And what else?
You sound like
Australia and Texas are very close to each other in heart.
Yeah, there are some similarities there, culturally speaking. Something fun. Right now, I am currently sitting in Viva Las Vegas. I'm here for 2 consecutive weekends. So right now in Vegas, going to my 15th NFL stadium tomorrow, going to Chargers at Raiders. Actually going to an NHL game as well this evening. And then I'm coming back again next weekend for Orange Cataganza, Aaron's birthday, and going to, what are we going to? We're going to a Rangers game. There must be Rangers at Gold Knights there. So 2 weekends in Vegas. But I guess the interesting thing in there, I am trying to get all 32 NFL stadiums, if I've not said that on a podcast before. So this will make 15 tomorrow, hitting up Allegiant, and yeah, we'll see from there.
That's outstanding. You have already hit Everbank in Jacksonville because we went to a game.
Yes, sir. That's right. Good old Jameis Winston Bucks versus the Gardner Minshew Jags. A forgettable game of football.
Oh, so good.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, Steve, it is fantastic to have you here today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
Today's Warm It Up, Chris, is brought to you by me, Zahkia Mendoza. I had the idea of doing best-selling media franchises. And what do you mean by a media franchise, Zahkia? So I have the top 25. I'll give you an example. SpongeBob SquarePants is a media franchise. It's an animated series. It started that way, but it's also a movie, and you get money from merch, that kind of thing. So I've got the list of the top 25 media franchises by billions of dollars.
Do you break down groupings underneath larger umbrellas, or is it the largest
Yes. So I would say Disney is broken down. Marvel is broken down. So if that helps.
If Marvel's broken down, Disney, okay, that does help a lot.
I have randomly selected an order. And Dave, you're up first.
Okay, so how about Star Wars? That has to be on this.
Star Wars is number 4 on the list. $46.7 billion in revenue overall. Nice job. Jonathan, you're up.
I'm going to go with low-hanging fruit and say Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is not a low-hanging fruit. It's not in the top 25. So
seriously?
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah, that doesn't
all of
surprise
the
me.
movies and the Hobbit stuff and
What is it going to make? Like $8 billion? That doesn't seem high. 8 billion versus Star Wars, which is toys and games
Star Wars.
and video
I'm
games.
versing Hello Kitty or whatever is number 25.
Nick, you have opinions. You're up next.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is number 7 on this list. $34.7 billion. Steve.
Okay, so, or maybe I'm misinterpreting the question here. Pokemon?
Pokemon is number 1 on this list. $98.9 billion. So you have not misinterpreted it here at all. All right.
I got shaken by that Lord of the Rings miss.
Nah, you're fine. Dave, you're up.
All right. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but the movie is pretty recent. I don't know if cumulatively Barbie would make the list.
Barbie is number 8 on this list. $33.9 billion. All right, Jonathan.
Well, I'm shaken after Lord of the Rings is not on the list. I have no faith in anything now. I'm going to try Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is on the list, number 13, $26.8 billion. Nick.
I'm going to go with the Transformers. There's like 8 movies and like cartoons and toys from the 80s through today. That's got to be up there.
Transformers, number 14 on the list, $25 billion. I like how I'm announcing this as like the Price is Right. Steve, you're up.
Well, James Bond.
James Bond is not in the
Yeah.
top 25.
As soon as Lord of the Rings wasn't there, I removed James Bond from my list. I was like, well, no, that's not on there. Then that's not either.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 1 from 2. I'll take it. Let's.
Dave.
How about Jurassic Park and World, if I don't have to separate them and if that's combined?
The Jurassic series is not in the top 25. Maybe it's just because it's mostly movies, but yes. All right, Jonathan.
I made a joke about it earlier, but I'm going to give it a try now. I'm going to say Hello Kitty.
That's a good joke to make. It's number 12.
There you go.
Nice.
$29.3 billion. Nick.
I'm going to go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. I have a conspiracy about you that I think you know a lot about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for some reason.
Fair. It's totally fair.
I don't know why. I just do. And it's correct. It's number 19 on the list. 17.
I mean, I absolutely do. That's you're that's a stereotype, but you're spot on. You nailed it with that one.
Okay. Strange. All right. Good to know. Steve.
Has anyone said X-Men?
No one has said X-Men, and unfortunately is not in the top 25 to my dismay, because I
am tumbling downhill very quickly here. All right, all good.
This is harder than it seems.
Yeah. Dave.
All right, well, Spider-Man was on there, and X-Men are not. I'm going to take a gamble with Avengers.
Avengers is number 26.
Oh, you found the edge.
So close, but I cannot give you the green light. Jonathan.
I'm going to guess Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse and Friends, number 2 on the list.
Right.
$61.2 billion. Nick.
I'm going to go. I've got 4 left, and I'm not gonna swing for the fences here. You said that Marvel's broken up, so the MCU, is that a thing in and of itself? Like 30 movies at $1 billion each?
Actually, I'm glad you got this because the MCU is a thing by itself.
Oh, interesting.
$33.8 billion.
Because Spider-Man is part of the MCU, and he counted.
Yeah.
Spider-Man probably does it without any of the MCU movies.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're double counting, but I mean, it's not critical.
Yeah, they have like start dates. So Spider-Man 1962, MCU 2008, and Avengers, I think they have the start date is 1963. So they have like the original medium counted,
comics,
but but it's put in with the movies and what have you. Steve.
Can I get back to 500 with Batman?
You can.
Thank goodness. All right.
Where is Batman? It's number 11, $29.8 billion. It's our last time through before spaghetti at the wall time. Dave.
I mean, this is not maybe as popular as some of what we've mentioned, but it's so many series and movies and books. I'm going to try for Star Trek.
Star Trek is another one that's a little bit off the edge. I put it in here because I made a list of the top 35. Star Trek is number 32. But yes, I like what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think that the key to this is toys.
I was thinking toys too.
I think the toys and video games are the absolute key. Because
you should
just
guess
movies
G.I.
or
Joe,
TV.
Nick. They had a lot of toys.
They did, but they were only in the 80s, and
Yeah.
I don't have the long standing.
Whose turn is Zahkia?
Yours, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, I'm
You
not
should guess
guessing
G.I. Joe, Jonathan.
No, hell no. But I am going to look at modern times and the cost of things. Modern, heavy toys, limited movies, but heavy toys. I'm going to guess Frozen.
Ooh,
That was my shot in the dark.
Frozen is another edger. It's number 27.
Oh.
All right, Nick. What do you have?
They just needed one more movie. It'll be up there.
Yeah, they'll get
someday.
it next time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Shoot, Frozen was mine. All right, so this is a little outside of the box because if Frozen isn't there, then this probably isn't there. But the one thing that this has that Frozen doesn't is a $4 billion musical. I'm gonna go with The Lion King.
Ooh, that's a good move. The Lion King is number where are you, Lion King? Number 21.
Hey,
That's nice. Now, Frozen does have a great musical, though. It is really good.
But it's not a $4 billion musical or what. It's not the number one musical of all time.
You're not a $4 billion musical.
Yes. All right, Steve, your turn.
Well, based off that, I'm actually going to change my final answer here. Is Phantom of the Opera on this list?
Poto, unfortunately, is not on this list.
Oh, my bad. All right, 2 from 5.
I want to make a guess. I think I have a top fiver.
All right, hit me.
Lego.
Ooh.
Is Lego a franchise?
It's got multiple movies and multiple video games. You're damn right it's a franchise.
It's a franchise, but it's not in here.
They were discriminated against. That's a top 5 franchise. It might be number 1.
I mean, do you count the toys that are
You
got
got
to
count the toys. You count the comic books.
Do you count the Star Wars Legos towards Star Wars?
I'm just saying every major motion picture has a Lego toy set that goes with it. Lego is probably number 1.
I would guess so.
Any other?
I'm disappointed that I didn't get credit for that.
The last one I had on my list was Candy Crush, only because for a while there, I think they were making $2 billion a year.
Candy Crush is number 17 on this list.
Wow, good one.
Can I throw out Toy Story?
Toy Story, number 23 on the list.
Hey, they beat Frozen because they had more movies.
I'm going terribly here, but can I chuck out Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh, number 3 on the list.
Nice. That's a good guess.
Number 3.
Very nice. It's number 3. How about Pirates of the Caribbean?
No pirates.
That's a good guess, though.
Any others?
I mean, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe is not. Steve?
A last one for me, The Simpsons?
Not The Simpsons.
Really?
So there's a ton. Simpsons are a great guess. There's a ton of video games. Video games are the number one money making.
Oh, Sonic
genre.
And Mario.
See, I was going older. That Mario was going to be my guess, but I think if you get even older, like Pac-Man, somewhere in there.
Yeah, Pac-Man didn't have any
stuff.
big hitting movies or anything, though.
Oh, but Pac-Man's number 22.
Oh, wow. Wait, is Mario
not
on
on the list?
Mario is not.
How does that happen?
Seems impossible.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
I mean, take
What's
it up
the source for this list?
Wikipedia.
I think they
All
left
right.
some things out. If Pac-Man cannot be out-earning Mario.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean,
the Super Mario video game series, consisting of 11 games, has sold more than 500 million copies worldwide.
I did see that. So, my original list was video game franchises, but I don't know.
So even if
Maybe
every game only
Pac-Man
costs
license-
$10, that's $5 billion, and every game costs.
Mario franchise is estimated to have grossed more than $55 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time, and the second highest grossing video game franchise after Pokemon.
Well,
We were robbed.
take it up with Wikipedia. All right.
Nintendo made $10 billion in Q1 of 2024.
Wow.
Would you guys like the rest of the list?
Please.
Sure.
All right. So we said, oh my goodness. So number 5 is a weird grouping. They have it as Disney Princess, specifically that Disney Princess.
I almost
grouping
guessed Disney Princesses. I think
Yeah.
that's valid.
It started in 2000. Number 6, I haven't even heard of before. It is a Japanese picture book, I believe. Anpanman?
Is that One Punch Man?
No. Anpanman.
Okay.
I'm surprised no one said number 10, Call of Duty.
Oh.
How wait? Call of Duty is a video game series. Why did they get counted and Mario didn't?
Like I said, take it up with the people at.
It's the only thing I can think is that Mario is too big, and that in and of himself is not a franchise. He's just.
You tell that to Bowser because they had
Yeah.
a hit with peaches, and that's Mario.
Right.
Or maybe that 1991 movie just made them completely shy and taken off all lists for the rest of time. Okay.
He's advocating for Mario too.
Yeah. Number 15 is Dungeon Fighter Online.
Whoa.
Number 16 is Cars.
Oh, barf.
Number 18. is Looney Tunes.
Oh,
Makes
wow.
sense.
Yeah. all right.
Number 20 is Dora. Dora the Explorer.
Wow.
Wow.
Number 24 is Peanuts. And number 25 is Paw Patrol, the bane of my
Okay.
I get that. I think I spent half of their revenue one year.
So out of the ones who are both on your list, meaning that they weren't excluded irrationally like Mario was, it is interesting that Dora has out-earned Frozen. That's amazing.
Dora's been around longer. Dora hosts the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon. Dora and has like her own, not cinematic universe on Nickelodeon. She's a thing.
But there's no $1 billion Dora movies, so that's really impressive.
There might be. There might be television.
There might be $1 billion Dora movie?
Yeah, that you just don't know about.
Okay.
Not really your genre, so I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, sure.
All right. Oh, that's our warming up, Chris. Do you guys feel warm?
I do feel warm. Good job, Zahkia.
Ready and
Thank
rolling,
you.
Zahkia.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what I'm shocked was on the list? Just popped into my head was the Despicable Me, Minions. I figured Minions would be on the list.
31.
Oh, okay. It is on the list. Excellent.
By the way, before we do get started with the game, Nick, I did want to give you the chance to gloat a little bit. So in
Jonathan,
the picture,
what would I have to gloat about?
In the picture for today's episode, you were holding up a very large, shiny belt with a Waffle House logo on it. Do you want to tell people why that was?
Oh, it is not a Waffle House logo, Jonathan. It is, if you want to see it, it's in reverse on the camera, I think. It is the Waffle.
Perfect.
It is a Waffle League logo.
Yes.
It's the Warfare Army Fantasy Football League. It's an acronym, Waffle. Okay. And this is the third year we've done a Trivial Warfare Army Fantasy Football League. There are currently 42 members of the league. We have a Premier League style. Yeah, it's 3 14-team leagues. We have a Premier League style with like a waffle is the top, and then we have pancake is the middle, and then crepe is the lower league currently.
If they ever do a fourth one, it's going to be falafel.
I think actually we discussed fourth. If we do have a fourth league, it's going to be batter. Because it's just lessening of the amount.
What about French toast, though?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we can't include everything, Jonathan.
How'd you get to crepe before French toast? Y'all are broken.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? But yeah, this is the third year of the league. We started it in, 2022? Just after it was 2022, just after the pandemic ended. And I won the inaugural season. And then last year, I graciously allowed somebody else to win. Because if I just win it every year, they're going to get, they're going to accuse me of cheating. So I decided
won last year.
I was very kind-hearted, Nick.
Will Dennison.
Thank you. Will Dennison won it in year number 2. And then in year number 3, I figured it was time to take it back. So
you guys seem like you would be a tag team named the Evil Geniuses if y'all were
Will and
together. Yeah, you and Will. Good job. No, seriously, good job. I was
really excited.
Some of the better players in the community. Good job.
Absolutely, and shout out to Drew Bucksbaum who scored 172 points in the championship game, but just came up a little bit short.
Wow. And that means he did not get stuck in a Waffle House eating waffles this year.
No, he did
upgrade from previous seasons.
It absolutely is. The who did end up in the bottom? I forgot to look. Chris was close. Chris was close.
Man, you're going to put him in the hospital if you do that to him. Come on.
Will Dennison, the winner of season 2 and season 3, was extremely close to the bottom there. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out.
All right. Well, I wanted to say congratulations, Nick. You have your belt. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm still not going to play fantasy football, so Nick will continue his warpath.
Gary Middleton is the pancake eater.
Oh, Gary. Sorry for you, man, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Make sure you pick a good place. All right. Today's show, we are on the main feed. This is episode number 514. Today's game is going to be Nick and Steve versus Jonathan and Dave. Zahkia is hosting. And I forgot to tell you guys that you can get more Trivial Warfare at trivialwarfarearmy.com. Zahkia is hosting. It's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
I am hosting. That was fun. All right, friends. So I have a theme game today, kind of related to Mortal Kombat, but kind of not. Over the holidays, I decided it was finally time for me to download the latest DLC of Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat is my trash game of choice.
What is Mortal Kombat 1? What does that mean? Like the first one?
No, it's the latest game, and they just start over at 1.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a series of questions related to things. So, for example, in round 2, there will be a Sub-Zero science question. That kind of vibe. But we can get into round 1, question 1. All of the questions in this category are about people associated with the Mortal Kombat games. Round 1, question 1. Your category, Mortals and Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage, a character in the Mortal Kombat franchise, was inspired by what Belgian martial artist and actor who rose to fame in 1988 with the movie Bloodsport?
Yep, Dave, we can lock that in.
All right.
Yeah, this has to be everybody's favorite Belgian split enthusiast, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep, absolutely.
So Nick and Steve say Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jonathan and Dave, you locked in. What did you say?
We said the same thing. This was insta-get for me. Bloodsport was one of my trash favorite movies as a middle schooler. Probably watched it when I was, younger than I should have been watching a movie like that. With what Nick just mentioned, there's that car commercial from a few years ago. I forget which automobile company, but that's a fantastic commercial with Van Damme doing the splits on like 2 trucks that are
semi-trucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And Johnny Cage does in the first video game. I don't know if it continues, but he does a split and a nut punch, and that's his special move.
The split tradition continues with Johnny Cage because he is based off of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Nice job, both teams. I also look forward to hearing about other people's trash tastes during this game. Round 1, question 2, same category, Mortals in Mortal Kombat. Which actress was originally cast as Sonya Blade in the 1995 movie Mortal Kombat, but had to drop out due to a hand injury? The broken hand didn't hinder her career, as she went on to be one of the most bankable stars of the late 90s and 2000s, and was the highest paid actress over 40 in 2013.
All right, we're locked in.
Cool. Jonathan and Dave, you can talk loud.
So, Dave, I mean, the first thing that I thought of is probably Angelina Jolie, who's going to be she will definitely be over 40 in 2013, I think. Hold on. 40 in 20, that'd be 1993. They were 20. That might be on the edge there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100%, but I think that fits. I'm trying to think of like her earliest movies that I'm aware of to see if she was like acting around then. Girl Interrupted was around then, maybe?
Girl Interrupted was in like 94-ish. There was Hackers was also an early 90s cult movie. And she was absolutely one of the most bankable stars of the late 90s. So that's a good thought. The other thoughts? I don't think it's going to be somebody like a Meg Ryan or a what's her name? Julia Roberts. I don't think it's going to be somebody like that.
No, I mean, the other thing I like about your guess, besides like the age and the dates fitting, is Angelina Jolie definitely does action, Lara Croft, all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. I can't see Meg Ryan doing that. I can't see Jennifer Aniston doing that.
You want to say Angelina Jolie?
I like it.
All right, we're locking in.
All right. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
Angelina Jolie is a good guess. I don't hate that. I think she's a little younger than that. I think I remember hearing something about this, and the actress that immediately popped into my head also fit all of the other information. She's Steve, are you positive that she was born in 1972? Because that was what
Yes.
I'm like, what about this person? And he's like, that's
Wait,
great.
what is the
This her
person you're
exact
talking
birthday.
about?
Cameron Diaz is who we thought it was. And yeah, like I said, I said, I think I read about this. I think it's Cameron Diaz. And Steve went, oh, yeah, this is her exact birthday. And I went, that's an odd thing to know off the top of your head.
I don't know why I have in my head that in The Mask in 1994 she was 22 then. That's the mental subtraction I just did to get to 1972. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Right. And I think she's a little bit older than Angelina Jolie, but that's still a good guess. So yeah, we went with Cameron Diaz.
And she's blonde.
Okay. So Angelina Jolie, brunette, born in 1975. Cameron Diaz, blonde, born in 1972. Cameron Diaz is the correct answer here.
Right.
Nice work, Nick.
Thank you.
Good one. But you mentioned Cameron Diaz in The Mask. Cameron Diaz in The Mask is a top 5 most attractive person I've ever seen, for me at least. And I mean, not her over the course of her life and career, just in that moment. If you rank moments that people looked a certain way, that's a top 5 one for me.
She's very pretty. She's still very pretty. Just a pretty lady. Round 1, question 3. Your category, mortals and Mortal Kombat. This actress made her debut in a 2001 Mary-Kate and Ashley movie and has since starred in an action blockbuster franchise, 2007, 2009, a cult horror hit, 2009, and a popular sitcom, 2016. She voiced Nitara in 2023's Mortal Kombat 1, stating, I really like her. She's a vampire, and that obviously resonates for whatever reason.
What was the category name? Okay.
Mortals and Mortal Kombat.
Oh, same one. Okay.
Yeah.
You said it was an action movie franchise in 07 and 09?
Action movie franchise.
Mm-hmm. About a minute left, friends.
Dave, let's go with it.
Okay.
We're locked in.
Okay, Nick and Steve, you have 30 seconds to hand it over.
We're circling around it. So, Steve, why don't you... We've focused in on a huge franchise with movies in 2007 and 2009.
Correct. And again, I'm the only bit of concrete I have is that the first Transformers movie was 07. I very distinctly remember seeing that in cinema in 07. So if it was the first 2 Transformers movies, that could line up with that. And then I would be guessing from there as to what the sitcom or horror movie would be after that.
Yeah, Steve threw out Bond or Harry Potter. You're looking for the actress name, right?
I'm looking for the actress and I need it now.
Right. Okay. We'll go with Megan Fox. I don't remember what sitcom she would have been on in 2016, but we're out of time.
Okay. Jonathan and Dave, what did you guys say?
Oh, I like their answer.
I like
Jennifer's
it too.
Body
we
is a
struggled.
cult horror movie from around that era.
Yes. As soon as they were talking about Transformers, I also thought of Jennifer's Body. Of course, too late for us to think of that. Yeah, we went back and forth. We struggled quite a bit. But that last sentence, I heard that in Aubrey Plaza's voice. She was in a sitcom. I'm not sure if 2016 is the right year for Parks and Rec. Maybe for the later season. I'm not sure.
Ish.
Yeah, I couldn't get off Aubrey Plaza to think of anybody else. I like Megan Fox as an answer, but we went with Aubrey Plaza.
So Parks and Rec debuted in 2009. So that is not the sitcom here.
Is it New Girl?
The sitcom is New Girl. Okay. The cult horror movie is Jennifer's Body. The action blockbuster franchise is Transformers. Correct answer is indeed Megan Fox.
Nice work, Nick.
Good job.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jonathan.
That's all right. Yeah, Megan Fox and Transformers, also in my top 5 most beautiful moments for a person of all time. It's a good
list. Transformers was top of mind because that was one of my answers from the Warm It Up Chris, like giant blockbuster franchise.
Mm-hmm. So, Jonathan, I thought you said Megan Fox and Transformers were in your top 5s. Like, which Transformer? I want to know.
That Bumblebee.
Is it Bumblebee?
Megatron. No, it's
Bumblebee.
Megatron. Come on, let's be honest. You gotta like the bad boy.
Let's be honest. Jonathan does not side with the Autobots in that movie franchise.
Ah.
I don't actually. I hate that movie franchise. It's all too close up to see what the hell is actually happening, and that really bothers me in a movie. But I really enjoyed the animated Transformers movie from 2 years ago or last year or whenever it was. That was good.
Yeah. All right, friends, at the end of round 1, Jonathan and Dave, you have 10. Nick and Steve, you have 30. Getting into round 2, we're getting away from these mortals in Mortal Kombat, and we're getting into Blaze, a sports question.
Okay.
Chicago's Major League Soccer MLS team takes its name in reference to a historic event that occurred 126 years after its founding, the team's founding. What is the name of this team?
You post it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we should just lock in, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We are
we're
locked
gonna
in.
lock in.
All right, Nick and Steve, talk it out, friends.
Nick and Steve.
I think it's Chicago Fire, isn't it? Am I making that up?
It sounds right. I mean, if it's not Chicago Blaze, then it sounds like it's Chicago Fire, and that's 126 years after the team's founding, the event that occurred 26 years. But I assume that's supposed to be before the team's founding.
Yes, sorry.
Or was the Chicago Fire founded in like the 1700s? Yeah, it has to be Chicago Fire.
Yeah, I think that's right, Nick. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah. Okay. Chicago Fire, locked in.
All right, Jonathan and Dave, what'd you guys say?
I mean, yeah. Blaze, Chicago, 126 years, Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Yep. Keeping it simple, stupid. The correct answer is Chicago Fire. Nice job.
Excuse you.
Oh, no, it's a kiss. Round 2, question 2. Your category, jade, a science question. A type of jade, nephrite, also known as lapis nephriticus, is named for its historical use in treating ailments of what organ?
All right. We'll lock in.
All right.
Oh, it's not really fair that they have a doctor on their team.
Yeah, I feel this is where things start to turn against us here, Nick. I've got no problem with your guess of kidney. I've certainly got nothing better.
All right, so here's my. This is what I was typing in as far as the thought process goes. Nephrite, a nephrologist, is a kidney doctor. That seems to be a correlation right there. So let's go with kidney.
Done.
Nick and Steve say kidney. Jonathan and Dave, what'd you guys say?
All those years of medical school and residency just to give the same answer as the other team.
Why would you feel bad about your answer? You literally just said a kidney doctor's a nephrologist. Well, okay, I don't know what it could possibly be.
I didn't say I didn't know what it would possibly be. I said I didn't like the fact that the other team had a doctor on it.
Oh my God.
Both teams say kidney. Correct answer is kidney. Nice job.
When do we mention that the other team has a perfect game so far?
Whenever you want and frequently.
Not yet.
Whenever you're ready to lay down a curse, you know. Round 2, question 3. Your category, Sub-Zero. Another science question. What temperature scale begins at absolute zero, the theoretical point where all molecular motion ceases?
I think that we
All right.
I'm guessing we can 3, 2, 1 this, Nick. We're on the same page.
Certainly.
Okay.
Oh, all right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
Kelvin.
Kelvin is the correct answer. Nice job, both teams.
Also, the worst Star Trek timeline.
Unfortunately, Dave, your little cursey curse did not destroy Nick and Steve, because at the end of round 2, they have 60 points. Dave and Jonathan, you have 40.
There's a bit of
That's
a delay
all right.
on the curse. Give it time.
There will be harder questions at some point.
The time released curse.
All right, let's get into round 3, question 1. Your category, reptile, an animals question. Animals. Reptiles are divided into 4 orders: turtles, crocodilians, squamates, and tuataras. Tuataras, often mistaken for lizards, are endemic to what island nation, where they can be often seen sunbathing on Tiri Tiri Matangi Island?
All right, we're locked in.
All right, Jonathan and Dave, you can talk aloud.
Yeah, Dave, that last question is just Maori. Maybe that the Tiri Tiri Matangi, it's like, okay, this feels Pacific. And yeah, Indonesia has the most islands, sure, but I don't know, man. I've New Zealand. There's something about New Zealand that kind of calls me that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking from a few different angles, just because I don't know where to approach this. And I like languages, trying to think of if Tiri Tiri Matangi sounds like anything I've heard. I think maybe it sounds more Maori. I don't speak Maori, but there's some famous people from New Zealand with Maori names. These sounds are in those names sometimes. I don't think it sounds as Indonesian. Indonesia makes me think of like Borneo and Sumatra, just different types of sounds.
Yeah.
Like consonant clusters and not repeated syllables, unlike this. This sounds more like, it's very soft reasoning, but I like New Zealand, I think, better than, it doesn't sound like a Philippines island either to me.
And we are at time.
All right,
so New Zealand.
Let's do it.
All right, they are saying New Zealand. Nick and Steve, what did you guys say?
I'll jump in on this one, Nick. I think our messenger conversation mimicked pretty much exactly what Dave and Jonathan just did. My comment to Nick was, this sounds Polynesian, and if we're in that region, then I guess New Zealand makes the most amount of sense. I've not heard of either the island or the animal, but we said New Zealand.
All right, both teams say New Zealand. Correct answer was given by both teams. It's New Zealand.
Hey! And we didn't have an Australian on our team. He's a lot closer to this than we are.
Honestly, so the way the conversation went was, when I think weird animal, I think Madagascar, and other islands with weird animals, Australia. And Steve goes, that's probably, I don't think it's Australia. If we're going to guess it, but down there, I go with New Zealand. That was that.
We did consider Madagascar.
We like to move it.
So what's the animal? Why is it mistaken for a lizard? What is it if it's not a lizard?
Because it looks just like an iguana.
It's a reptile that looks like a lizard. Why isn't it a lizard?
Because it isn't. It's like, let's see. Like lizards are squamates, and they're in the same family as snakes. Tuataras are...
Oh, they're little dragon-looking guys.
Yeah, they're
definitely lizards. Why are they lizards?
It's 4 orders. They're the only member of the Rhinophalia order.
Mm-hmm.
Big whoop. Tuatara is derived from the Maori language, and it means peaks on back. The single extant species of Tuatara is the only surviving member of its order, which was diverse in previous eras. That's super interesting. So okay. That's neat.
There's 4 orders. The 4th one used to have a different name, but now they just call it the one animal because it's the only one left.
It's by itself.
They're kind of cute for lizards. They're cuter than a general lizard, I'd say.
Oh, I was going to ask, what is a general lizard?
It's a pretty low bar there.
General lizard, sir.
I was going to say a general lizard is a lizard that pays $100 a month to be a part of the TWA.
No, I think of anoles and iguanas and chameleons and those kind of things.
I forget that you guys have anoles down there in Florida. Like they're so cute.
We have anoles. Patty ate an anole the other day, and her digestive system hasn't been the same since. I think she has bones caught in her tummy.
Oh
no! Yeah.
Ugh.
These guys are cute.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can smuggle one back to Florida.
Maybe.
All right.
Smuggling a lizard down my pants.
Wow. We've gone to After Dark very quickly.
Yes. Peaks on the back. All right.
Boots with the fur.
Round 3, question 2. Your category, oddly enough, Scarlet, an anatomy question. Of the 8 basic blood types, which is the rarest in the United States, found in only about 0.6 of the population? It is known as the universal recipient among those with a negative Rh factor. And they have a doctor.
I know. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
Seconded. Motion carried.
Zahkia, are we good with our answer, or do you need more?
We're going to lock in.
Okay, I will.
Unless you're going going to give them new information, in which case we'll not.
No.
It's not new information.
She just said they need more.
It's okay. If all you did was ask for more, then we don't need to hear that. We're locked in. You guys can talk out loud.
All right, Steve. Is it AB positive or AB negative?
Flip a coin.
I've
not heard of AB negative. I'd go AB positive. I've got no idea.
Okay.
I'm just glad we've landed at that end of the scale.
Right. No. You were so yeah. O negative is the universal donor, and I think an AB positive, AB negative. I want to say it's AB negative.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm tossing a dang coin over here in terms of the. I don't know what the plus or the minus means.
All right. There's 8 main blood types, so it's AB positive, AB negative, O positive and negative, A positive, and B positive and negative. Right. Those are the 8. So there's AB positive and AB negative. There's no just like AB.
So am I correct? Well, is the universal donor O positive or O negative?
O negative.
Okay, then I'd say it's AB positive then if we're going to the exact opposite blood type to be the universal recipient.
Okay.
So are you locking in AB positive?
AB, not very positive.
All right. Jonathan, and specifically Dave, do you want to tell them why that curse is locked in for them?
It would be my
the coin
pleasure.
wrong, I take it.
So the negative is the indication of the Rh factor. So there are 3 antigens. There's the A, the B, and the Rh. So O negative is the universal donor because it has none of those antigens. So you can safely get any of those regardless of your blood type because there's no antigens. AB positive is the true universal recipient because you have all the antigens. So if you get any, that's okay. But the question says among those with a negative Rh factor, and that's the negative. So among those with a negative Rh factor, AB negative is the universal recipient. Amongst everybody on Earth, AB positive would be, but that's not the question.
The question is for the negative Rh factor.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that went a little deeper than was necessary, Zahkia.
I don't think so.
For what it's
Just
worth,
as deep as it should have been.
It
for
was
what it's
in
worth,
the question.
for what it's worth, I'm the one who got the answer first. And I didn't use any doctoring to get there. I read the end of the question and said, oh, she's looking for the negative.
Yep. You guys got it. So let's move on to round 3, question 3. Your category, Cololcan, an Aztec question. A macuahuitl is a traditional Aztec weapon resembling a wooden sword and is embedded with blades made of what material known for its glassy, razor-sharp edges?
I don't know what else it could be. Let's lock in.
Yep, sounds good. We're locked in.
Cool. Dave, my first statement to you was possibly onyx, but then I said, hey, okay. I thought to myself, okay, well, what's razor-sharp and glassy? And diamond came to mind.
So
because diamonds are known to be the hardest material. They're very sharp and glassy.
And they can cut glass. So I thought about obsidian. Obsidian is volcanic.
Yeah.
There is volcanic activity around there, right? So you could harvest obsidian. I like diamonds for, like, the quality of diamonds would definitely be useful. Could they mine diamonds? They'd have to be really fortunate to find them if they didn't have mining technology. So that's my main hang-up.
When the Spaniards came in and brought all their diseases, they were mining like crazy. So the materials were there. I don't know if diamonds were in Mexico, though.
I've never heard of diamond mines in that part of the world. I'm not super confident in my answer, so I don't want to put down yours either. I think they both make sense. I like obsidian because it's very glassy. It is volcanic glass, basically. It's, very dark colored, but really like reflective and shiny and easy to polish.
What was the category, Zahkia?
Cololcan, an Aztec question. So there's no category hints in here.
All right, I was just going to check.
It's the Mortal Kombat reference.
Yes.
I'm fine with obsidian.
Making entire blades out of diamond might be really hard if they were studded with diamonds.
I don't think they made them out of. They made them out of wood. It resembles a wooden sword and is embedded with blades, meaning they took wood and they used some kind of adhesive or embedding to jam things into the wood to make sharp edges.
Yeah, the way I'm reading it is the blades are made of what material?
No, it's embedded with blades made of what material?
So they could be very small.
So it's things embedded in the wooden sword or something like a wooden.
All right. I hate to be the cause of us being wrong, but I also feel like it's my duty to communicate that I like Obsidian better than diamonds.
Let's do it.
Do with that what
Obsidian.
you will. Okay, we'll go with Obsidian.
All right. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
God, I was waiting for the players just being too nice and not standing up for what they believe in. You all have to have less of a backbone. Let Jonathan walk all over you.
I'm going to challenge you if you're on my team. Nick has sent me a picture of Cameron Diaz from The Mask and Megan Fox from Transformers.
Nice.
Yeah, I was hoping you would see it during the discussion and therefore would distract you from the actual conversation.
Tremendously distracting.
We also said Obsidian. It's volcanic glass. It's glassy and razor sharp and is something that they made weapons out of in that area of the world for a long time.
So both teams say Obsidian. Your correct answer is indeed Obsidian. Nice job.
Nice work, Nick.
Thank you.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah.
By the way, the Tuatara, going back a second,
Yeah.
Tuatara is also the name of a car. The SSE Tuatara hits 295 miles per hour.
That seems fast.
It is a beautiful sports car.
Is the lizard known for being fast? Like, why?
I don't know.
He looks a little chunky for being fast. Iguanas are fast.
Yeah, well, this kind of looks like an iguana. It could go fast, but not sports car fast. I don't know. So at the end of round 3, game has gotten a little bit tighter. Jonathan and Dave, you have 70. And Nick and Steve, you have 80. So our midpoint is referencing that MK1 game I talked about. Its latest iteration includes guest appearances from characters like Omni-Man. Can you name the other 5 guest appearances based on the clues that I've given? First guest character is a DC Universe character portrayed by John Cena. 2, the leader of the 7 in The Boys. 3, the primary antagonist of a horror movie franchise that launched in 1996. An antagonistic time-traveling mimetic polyalloy. And lastly, the main character of an 80s sword and sorcery cult classic.
I do wish you'd included Omni-Man as one of the things we could have answered. I know about Omni-Man.
I considered it. I realized that there were so many guests in MK1, so I had to give one as an example.
Does all that look right? I'm almost 100% on the first 3. Let's not talk out loud. All right, we're locked in.
Okay.
So, Dave, Red Sonja is a Conan-style movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it as Red Sonja's bodyguard or sidekick. I don't know if he was playing Conan in that movie or not, but Red Sonja was a female Valkyrie-style Amazon kind of fighting woman with red hair. And the only reason that I'm asking that is 2 reasons. First, she said main character of an 80s sword and sorcery cult classic, not cult franchise. And Conan had Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and other comic books and whatever, right? So that's not a classic necessarily. That's a franchise. So maybe that's a reason. The other thing I'm thinking is that none of these characters so far have been women, and I would be surprised if they added all men and no women.
I mean, those are good points. Just to play devil's advocate, or just to throw it out there, is being the first in a franchise doesn't mean it's not a cult classic. But I still see your logic for those.
I agree with your logic as well.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about that either way. I mean, I think this is mostly you. My main contribution is that I'm pretty sure Robert Patrick was the T1000. So I like that for number 4. For the rest, I'm happy to defer to you because I'm really not sure.
Okay.
30 seconds
Ghostface
left.
for 3 sounds very good to me.
For number 1, we're saying Peacemaker. Number 2, we're saying Homelander. Number 3, we're saying Ghostface. Number 4, we're saying T1000. And number 5, either Red Sonja or Conan. Oh, let's say Conan. He's the bigger name.
All right. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
We said the same thing.
Yeah.
I had a feeling you did.
Very little flavor text on top of that.
All right, well, let's roll with it. So your answers, the DC Universe character portrayed by John Cena is indeed Peacemaker. Nice job. Leader of the 7 and the Boys, Homelander. The primary antagonist of a horror movie franchise launched in 1996 is Ghostface.
Which he has to be the weakest character in Mortal Kombat, right?
I haven't played as Ghostface yet.
With a knife.
He's a dude with a mask on.
I don't know. He might split in two because, there's two of them.
That would be a cool power.
And it's not a spoiler. It's like 87 Scream movies, and they all do the same thing. The antagonistic time-traveling mimetic polyalloy is indeed the T-1000. Nice. And the main character of an 80s sword and sorcery cult classic, Jonathan, while I appreciate you mentioning Red Sonja, the correct answer is Conan the Barbarian.
Great.
So, nice job on the midpoint to both teams, both picking up the 20 juicy points. Jonathan and Dave, you have 90. Nick and Steve, you have 100.
Out of curiosity, do y'all know, was Arnold playing Conan as Red Sonja's bodyguard? Because it looks just like him.
It's in the Conan franchise. I think Red Sonja was the third movie of the Conan franchise.
Okay, so he is Conan in that.
I think, yeah.
Because I wouldn't expect Conan to follow anybody.
No, I don't think Red Sonja is in the Conan thing. Yeah, I think it's a whole separate thing. What's her name? Bridget Nielsen isn't in any of the... maybe it's in the same universe.
So IMDb, Conan the Barbarian movies and TV shows. 1982, Conan the Barbarian. 84, Conan the Destroyer. 85, Red Sonja. 2011, Conan the Barbarian reboot. 1997 to 1998, 22 episodes, Conan the Adventurer.
Out of a different thing, though. Is Red Sonja part of Conan? No direct relationship. She lives in the same fictional Hyborian age and has interacted with Conan in a few Marvel stories, but only enough to establish her to Conan fans before giving her her own set of adventures.
Yeah, I think it's like set in the same kind of... Do you guys remember Golden Axe? Like a Sega game?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Of course I do.
It's like that kind of vibe, right?
Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Red Sonja is named Calidor.
There we go.
See?
He's not Conan. Well, there we go. We've learned something today.
Yay! Every day's a school day.
All right, what's the score going out of the midpoint?
Jonathan and Dave, you have 90. Nick and Steve have 100.
All right, that is the end of the first half. But before we go to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We are at the beginning of a new year. And, I was thinking the other day how life is like a book, right? Life is like a book, and every year is like a chapter. So it's time for us to think for a minute about this chapter of our lives. What are we going to do this year? I'm thinking about what I'm doing this year. I'm getting married this year. I hope to go on a couple of trips this year. My son is going to be 12 years old this year. Lots of opportunities for me to take, lots of things that I need to make sure I'm ready for. And one of the best ways that I can be ready to make the most out of this year, this chapter in my book, is by having help, better help. I need someone that I can talk to, someone that I can be challenged by, someone that I can vent to and say the thing that I'm not supposed to say because it would be rude, and have them tell me, is it really rude, or maybe I should say that? I need somebody to work with and get past myself, because what I've learned is that if I'm self-editing my chapter, if I'm self-editing my book, it's going to spin a certain way, but that's not necessarily the way that it should spin. So I'm going to have someone else help me go in and edit and revise and make this chapter as good as it can be. And I encourage you to do the same. You can do it today with BetterHelp. You just need to visit betterhelp.com/TWA. You'll get 10% off of your first month by going to BetterHelp, that's HELP.com/TWA. This is a pretty great book that we're all writing. Let's make this chapter one of the best. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
Round 4, question 1. Your category, Princess Katana. a music question.
Okay.
Alongside her childhood friend Gretchen Lieberum, this comedic actress and daughter of a 1970s soul singer-songwriter has been performing in a Prince cover band called Princess since 2012.
I can't think of the person's name.
We're locked in.
All right, Dev, I'm saying I think this is the lady who's the star of the TV show Loot. She played the judge in the last couple of seasons of The Good Place. Maya Rudolph, is that her name? Is that somebody's name?
Maya Rudolph is Minnie Riperton's daughter.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
There was just a question on, I think it was on Pop Culture Jeopardy maybe, about Minnie Riperton's song. What's her song? It's something about, it's basically, it was a lullaby for her, for Maya Rudolph and her brother. So that absolutely fits. She's definitely
a 70s soul singer-songwriter, Minnie Ripper. That's what I was going for. So let's lock that in, Maya Rudolph.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
Nick and Steve, what did you guys say?
I think I prefer their answer, Nick.
I don't know what any of the words that they said mean. I've never heard of that, of Maya Rudolph. I know who Maya Rudolph is, but I've never heard of her mother being a singer-song. I don't know. I like our answer. They seem a lot more confident, and ours is a wild guess, but it has certain logic to it.
There's elements of it. We said Rashida Jones, comedic actress and daughter of Quincy Jones.
All right.
So we do have two answers that are daughters of musicians of the 70s. I do have one correct answer, and it's indeed Miss Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
First continues.
Man, I could not get her name to come into my head. I'm like seeing her freckled. I see every freckle.
Right.
And I'm like, what is this woman's name? And then all of a sudden it came in.
Yeah.
Very nice. I would not have gotten that, but I like.
Which is funny because you had the real knowledge. I knew the stuff, but I couldn't name the names.
I just didn't know what she was in now. And you had mentioned the Loot, and I haven't seen the Loot. And now that you're saying the judge from The Good Place, I couldn't think of it, but I remember it now being Maya Rudolph. Yep. Remembering it after the fact isn't so helpful, so I'm glad you pulled it.
Very nice. Round 4, question 2. Your category, mocap, a movies question. What 1999 film was the first feature-length movie to feature a full character created using motion capture technology? Ahmed Best portrayed the character after being scouted for his unique movements in the percussion and theater production Stomp.
Yeah, locked in.
Okay, that was quick.
Okay. Dave, I was going to say Gollum, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, same as you were.
My first thought.
It ain't that, because that is...
Andy Serkis.
Ahmed
Unique
Best.
movements in Stomp. I mean, so could this be a superhero movie?
1999.
Is this one of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies?
Not with motion capture.
When was the first Avatar?
Avatar was 2010, I think. I always feel weird saying that, but I think I've heard that and locked it in my head. It always feels earlier. Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
There was the Mark Wahlberg one before the current series of them, and that might have...
Right, and is it just called Planet of the Apes?
I think it is just called Planet of the Apes. I don't know that that's the right answer, but somebody, motion capture chimpanzee, to me, feels like the kind of person that does Stomp. Like they jump up and land with both feet and slap their hands on the ground.
I can see it. When was the Jack Black King Kong, the first one?
Could not tell you.
The one with Naomi Watts. That could have been 1999.
I know what you mean. I don't know when it is. I don't know if that's motion capture either. Planet of the Apes is definitely motion capture. What about Meet Joe Young? Was that motion capture? That was the giant gorilla with
I feel like that's earlier, maybe.
All right. Why are you laughing at me, Zahkia? You didn't remember Meet Joe Young?
Well, it's probably not the answer if that's the reaction we got.
Yeah,
from the
she
host.
didn't ever think of that one before this.
What was the Matt LeBlanc, the chimpanzee baseball movie?
I don't know.
No?
That was a real chimpanzee, wasn't it?
You guys have about a minute left.
All right. I mean, do you like Planet of the Apes or King Kong better?
Oh, Nick, you son of a beep.
Did
Was it
he
another
send
Megan
you
Fox, or-
something else for your top 5?
He did. Hold on, I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna paste it into the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
That is disturbing.
Oh, that's horrific.
That is disturbing.
That's thick Gollum.
Man, I really don't know. I don't want to pretend like I'm confident here because I'm not. But Stomp speaks to chimpanzee to me, and that's maybe the best thing I got.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, we're gonna say Planet of the Apes.
Okay, before I get the answer, I was laughing because I think you were conflating Meet Joe Black with Mighty Joe Young.
Oh, yeah.
Those are very different movies. So I had to.
That's fantastic. Mighty Joe Black.
Yeah. Meet Joe Young. All right, Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
This was all Steve, and it was an insta-get.
I really thought you were going to find your way to this answer. Well, firstly, I feel like I've finally actually contributed an answer to the team here, which has largely been Nick with me as cheerleader. This is Jar Jar Binks in episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh.
And the bit of flavor text I have is that listen to I think the podcast series is called What Went Wrong. Their episode on Star Wars Phantom Menace. It was a really harrowing sort of biography of this guy because he got such pushback in 1990. He was found in Stomp on Broadway, and then he thought this was going to be his big break, and obviously he got the worst of it in terms of how that character was portrayed afterwards. Yeah, so Phantom Menace.
All right. The correct answer is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Nice job, Steve.
Yeah.
Dave, I didn't even think. Not even close. Nowhere.
Yeah, it wasn't on my radar.
And the Matt LeBlanc movie with the chimpanzee was Ed.
When did Planet of the Apes come out?
I've never heard of
Which
that.
one? There's been like 80
The Mark
grillion.
Wahlberg one.
I think that was 2001.
I wasn't that far off then.
Yeah, close.
2001.
Is it?
Yeah,
2001. Okay. Yeah, that one was awful. And then the Andy Serkis one was like maybe 10 years after that.
Wasn't that also Mark Wahlberg?
No, that was James
that
Franco.
James Franco. And now it's
Wow.
just the apes. They're the
Yeah.
The kingdom. Yeah, there's no people in it.
Ed, 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is an achievement.
It's real bad.
Tomato.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, however you Yanks say it.
Hey, I'm for it. Let's get into round 4, question 3. Your category, Movado, a language question. Movado, the Swiss watch company, takes its name from the word meaning movement. And what constructed international language spoken by an estimated 100,000 to 2 million people?
Yeah, let's lock in.
All right, we're locked in.
We beat you.
I don't have any idea. Steve, you don't have any idea?
No, that's. I mean that number sounds correct, and it's one of the 4 Swiss languages, but I wouldn't have described it as constructed international language. So
yeah, so constructed. So we're the language that comes to mind is Esperanto. 100,000 to 2 million is a number that I think I've heard recently on a show in relation to a language, and that language was Esperanto. And constructed international language, it was a language that was literally created to be like a global language. So constructed makes sense there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick.
All right, Esperanto.
Are you saying it's not naturally occurring?
Yes.
Dave and I had the exact same conversation. It's a constructed language. It's an intentionally international language. It's got to be Esperanto.
Both teams say Esperanto. Your correct answer is Esperanto. Nice job.
Nice.
All right. At the end of round 4, your scores. Jonathan and Dave, you have 110. Nick and Steve, you have 120.
All right, we can get this.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I believe in you.
I need you to place some questions in the chat so we can get Gollum off our screen there.
I need to find some more sexy relations to Jonathan's answers so that I can.
Well, you got to find 2 more, Nick. You've hit 3 of his 5.
Yeah, we got to finish 2.
Oh, God. I'm so afraid. All right. Round 5, question 1. Your category, rain, a geography question. Which South American country receives the highest average annual rainfall in the world, totaling about 3,240 millimeters? The Choco Darien ecoregion near this country's northern border is one of the wettest places on Earth.
Hey, we're locked in.
Okay.
All right. So my first thought was Colombia because the Darien Gap, I think it makes me think of Panama, but Panama is Central America, not South America.
That is the border, right? The thing you have to cross to get between Central and South, the Darien Gap, something like that.
I think so.
I believe it's the Panama Canal.
You shut up.
And you mentioned Brazil. Brazil definitely has tons of rainforest. It's just Brazil's so huge that it might have drier areas that mess up the average.
Well, that's what I'm thinking that maybe it's something south of Brazil, though.
And I've been to Colombia a few times. My wife is from Colombia. I don't know this fact about Colombia specifically, but I can think of Colombia has like valleys, mountains, rivers, rainforest. I don't think it has a desert, whereas like Chile and Argentina have desert.
I want to go and parse through every country and give reasons why it could be, but the Darien Gap thing really does stand out because that would lead to the realization or logic that there's a Darien region or partly, and that would be a fit for the clue in the question here. And so as much like I want to explore whether Uruguay, well, that's just south of Brazil. It could be all rainforest, or you know what I mean? Like that's the stuff. That's the juice. But I think Darien, I'm good with Colombia.
All right.
Colombia borders Panama, not Venezuela, right?
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Panama used to be part of Colombia once upon a time.
All right. Colombia.
All right. Jonathan and Dave say Colombia. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
Well, I'm again suddenly a lot less confident with their answer, Nick.
I'm pretty sure Colombia does border Venezuela, but that's not. Never mind. Grammar because of how you asked it.
Oh, good. I thought I had this dug somewhere in the back of my mind that there's areas of Chile that were the wettest on Earth, and that's what we ended up saying for lack of a better answer. But Chile. But if I could switch answers right now, I think I would.
Okay, I will say Colombia does border Venezuela. It also borders Panama and the Darien Gap. Colombia is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Chile is a lot of desert. Like it's the opposite of.
And I'm betting there's a ton
I know
of,
it's got the Atacama. My bad.
Right.
Nick.
There's also, thinking about it, there's also the southern points that are all frozen, which don't get a lot of rainfall.
Round 5, question 2. Your category, smoke, a rivalries question.
You don't want the smoke.
You don't want the smoke. Despite being hailed as the successor to Bach and Beethoven by his contemporaries, this German composer received harsh criticism from Tchaikovsky, who called him a conceited mediocrity devoid of creative inspiration. Perhaps Tchaikovsky didn't listen to this composer's work before bedtime.
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped in my head too.
That's what I was looking for.
I think we're locked in over here.
Let's 3-2-1 that.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Brahms.
Johannes Brahms is the correct answer.
His name has never been said like that in the history of humanity.
First time ever.
Oh, it has. That there's a old YouTube video where it's like this commercial for a fake cereal called Raisin Brahms, and like you get like Dana and I enter rooms like this sometimes. He comes Kool-Aiding man through the kitchen wall on his piano saying Guten Tag, and the children say Johannes Brahms. It is the most amazing thing in the world. So,
that is insanity. I love it.
I love it too. It always makes me smile. So I will put that in the spoiler thread when this goes live. It is your correct answer. Nice job, both teams. Round 5, question 3. Your category, meat. A food question.
Meat. Joe Young.
Meat. It's what's for dinner.
Zahkia keeps reading these category titles, and she's like, "It seems like the first time you've read them."
Like ChatGPT wrote them for her.
Yeah.
I know I wrote them. I maybe I haven't read them out loud.
It has a different intonation that way.
Just a little bit, yeah. And it explains why I get all mealy mouth when I actually go to read the question. This French stew. Good God. All right. This French stew consists of tender pieces of meat browned in butter and served in a rich sauce made from the cooking stock. Its name derives from the French words meaning to fry and to break.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're locked in.
It can. You have about a minute to talk it out.
I have no idea on the actual question of name a French stew.
I promise the things I've said are French stews.
Yeah, so it makes me want to go with one of the things that you said because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm trying to translate the words into my broken French by way of my broken Spanish, by way of all of Latin languages that I have a very, very loose grasp on. Fry in French, I think, is frire. And break, I think, is casser or casserie, something along those lines. And you put those two together, fry and break, that's fricassee. And
that's a thing.
And that's a thing, but I don't know what it is. Like when I think of like fricassee, I think of like foghorn leghorn, like fried chicken. Like that's what I think of. That's not a stew. What's a fricassee?
I'm not sure.
Is it perchance a French stew?
I'm drawing a blank on that.
Okay.
Cassoulet is definitely a French stew, and it's got the casser to break part of it.
That's
Frito-Lay makes Nick's favorite chips.
Right.
We are also at time.
Let's go with cassoulet because, like you said, that involves an actual French stew and the French to break.
Okay. Jonathan and Dave, what did you guys say?
We had the same logic. We just stuck with fricassee. I don't know if it's a French stew, but I think it's from frire, whatever the infinitive is. I don't know. And casser, to break. So I don't know if I'm happy about that or not, but it does differentiate us. So let's see whose favor it goes in.
So, Nick, I think the reason why you associate this with foghorn leghorn or fricassee.
Is it a chicken dish?
It's because it's a chicken dish. Sometimes it can be made with rabbit or beef, but you guys had the right logic. Frire, to fry. Casse, to break. Fricassee is your correct answer.
I guided us away from the right answer there. That's on me, man.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about 99% of the time, so don't feel bad.
All right. This makes this game super interesting. At the end of round 5, Jonathan and Dave, you have taken the lead. You have 140. Nick and Steve, you have 130. And I got extra spicy with round 6. Like round 1, there were questions about Mortal Kombat. In round 6, all of the answers are either going to be the names of characters from Mortal Kombat in total or just a little bit.
I'm screwed.
But I mean, they are also related to other
I'll
things.
come back in 10 minutes.
From the new Mortal Kombat or the entirety of Mortal Kombat?
From the entirety.
Okay, so we really, if we're just guessing, it's a 1 in 360 chance.
I mean, they also relate to other things.
Sure.
You could know based on the question. So let's get into our spicy round 6. Question 1. Your category, a Mortal Kombat answer. What journalist and TV host, known for his 1977 interview with Richard Nixon, later the subject of a stage play and film, became the inaugural host of Inside Edition?
Yep, locked in.
That was Nick and Steve. All right, so Jonathan and Dave, you can talk loud.
We
got
Frost?
it. Yeah, right away. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we'll say Frost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a play. It's definitely a movie.
All right, cool. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
And it's definitely a great name for a Mortal Kombat character, Frost.
And he's an Aussie.
He is. Huh? I thought he was I thought he was British. I am so sorry to Australia.
6 of one, half dozen the other. It's the same thing, really.
I don't know. As someone who grew up close to Canada, I love them, but I am not Canadian. But Frost is a correct answer, and she is also the protege of Sub-Zero in the Mortal Kombat games.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Round 6, question 2, a Mortal Kombat answer. According to the Social Security Administration, what male name ranked 28th in popularity for babies born in 2023? A consistent top 20 favorite since 2013, it peaked at 14th place in 2021 before its recent decline.
And apologies, I just looked him up. David Frost was not Australian. He was English. My bad. Sorry. It's a long-held misconception of mine.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Okay.
None of what I'm naming could possibly be close to the top 20. There's no way Jax is a top 20 favorite name. There's no way Barack or Braca or Scorpion or any of these names are top baby names.
You don't know any Sub-Zero Johnsons?
No.
Scorpion Smith.
I mean, you mentioned Jax. That's a name. I don't think it's top 20.
Raiden, the guy with the hat.
Kung Lao.
Raiden's the guy with the hat, right?
Kung
Lao.
Kung Lao.
Electricity
Is what I was
guy.
thinking of.
The guy with the hat who throws his sombrero and it's like razor sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Funny you say sombrero. Dane calls him Blade Sombrero.
Exactly. His name's like Hidalgo or something
It's
like
Kung
that.
Lao. Is my microphone off?
It's Kung Lao. We know.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played Mortal Kombat since like it was in the arcade in the mall.
I mean, yeah.
I'm with you on that,
30
Dave.
years ago.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I haven't
on that, Dave.
either.
can't
I'm
remember a
remembering
single-
this stuff from being a 1994 Sega Genesis owner.
We're coming up
reason
on time.
Jax would have. I mean, I think Jax is our least worst answer.
Jax, no way it's Jax. In the top 20?
I just can't give you anything better.
I need an answer.
Sure. Jax. God, FML.
Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
It's funny you said Raiden, Jonathan, and it's just that Asher has there's 4 kids in his class. It's Aiden, Braden, Zayden, Jaden, and Zane.
Ugh.
So I'm like, Raiden, that fits perfectly with the 10-year-olds from like the 2015, 2014 that time frame. But yeah, we went with Jax. That was when Zahkia read the category out. I'm like, one of the answers is going to be Jax. And as baby names go, I know 2 baby Jaxes: Jax-I, Jackson, Jax.
That's you said Jax-I. I thought you were saying Jaxie. Like
No. I'm trying to pluralize Jax.
Jack Quellen.
Quellen. Jax or Jackson. Jax is the character from Mortal Kombat. We went with Jax.
If it helps, Jonathan, I had the exact same level of incredulity as yourself, but that was the answer.
Well, friends, the character is Major Jackson Briggs. So I'm accepting Jax as a correct answer.
Jackson is the name?
Jackson is the name.
Yeah.
Jackson. Okay. All right. That's fine. Good.
Yeah.
That makes more sense than just Jax.
I mean,
Zahkia, may I ask, was there anything that you were trying to tease out in terms of its popularity decreasing from 14th to 28th?
not in particular that it is like it. I know that in my personal experience that name was very big peak 2010s and it is dropping off recently.
Okay.
I think it just got it too popular, I guess. I don't know.
I had in my head maybe there was a famous Jackson someone who did something in 2021 and now that name's not popular anymore.
No, not as far as I know.
That was, Asher was like 88th or 90th on the list for boys in 2014. And then like by 2017 or 2018, it was like 13th or 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's shot way up the list.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those ER names. They're
right.
Really.
And the biblical, so it's a biblical name. So it's one that goes in and out of fashion.
Cool. Okay, friends. Round 6, question 3. Category, a Mortal Kombat answer. This 1992 documentary, shot in 24 countries over 14 months, features a visual medley of natural phenomena, human activity, and daily life, all without narration. Its title refers to the Islamic concept of breath or blessing power.
This is going to be a Mortal Kombat character name?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't know the answer here, so I think that's fine.
Okay. Do I have the pronunciation right of the character?
The pronunciation via text that you sent him?
I mean, I think it's more like...
We're locked in.
Okay.
Okay.
If they're locked in, we can say it. Is it
Braca.
Baraka? Is it like Baraka?
I don't think it's Baraka. I think it's Braca.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I was wondering about it's not Barak.
It's not Barak. No, it's absolutely not Barak.
Right?
It's Bracca or something like that. Maybe one C. I don't know exactly.
I feel like
maybe
it's
there's
BA.
a case. Quit
Again, this is
side-eyeing me,
years.
Zahkia.
I would go with the way I just spelled it if you're okay with that, and hopefully that's close enough for Zahkia.
I mean, we're not spelling anything for her. We're just saying Braca.
Okay.
Okay. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
That's funny that out of all of the random characters to pick, you landed on that one because that's the same character we landed on. Only because we've been mentioning his name every third question for the entire game. It's Baraka wins. So it is Baraka. And yeah, that's what we said because it's a word we don't know what it means, and we've been laughing about it all game.
Yeah, and Jonathan, I am laughing because I think you were getting Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter conflated.
Oh, there's a Bronca in...
It's Blanca.
Blanca.
Blanca and Baraka.
Baraka's the one with knives for hands that carves people up in the air.
I know who he
is. Like the big blue thing with like hair.
He was the one who was our president from 2008 to 2016. Baraka.
Yes, but Dave did spell it out as Braka, which is the correct answer, and how it is spelled in the movie and the game. Baraka is the correct answer.
Nice work, Nick.
Good job, Dave.
So at the end of round 6, Jonathan and Dave, you have 170. Nick and Steve, you have 160. And of course, your gauntlet category in a Mortal Kombat themed game has to be finish him.
I love it. So Nick and Steve have a combined 170 based on Steve's score.
I would say 160 to 10. That's let's take it and run.
And what is the what? No, that's Steve with 10.
Yeah. Well,
what's our score? 170 to what?
You guys have 170. They have 160.
160.
Oh, sorry.
We have a lead?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Dave, we got a lead.
You went 7 for 9 or 8 for 10, 8 for 9 to end the game. How could you not have a lead?
Well, y'all were so good for so long.
The important thing, Nick, we're down by 10.
Yes, that is the
okay.
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Our wager's locked in.
Okay.
You can bet whatever you want. It's your game. Those are 4 different numbers. I understand what 3 of them mean. I do not get the second one or the third one.
You can talk out loud, you don't have to talk.
Yeah,
No, I want the reveal. I want to hear you howl in pain, Jonathan, when you realize we've outsmarted you.
Ooh.
I mean, it happens all the time. I don't howl anymore.
That's not true. You screamed the last game. We were 5-11. You were losing the whole time and then won at the end, and you got super excited about it.
Well, yeah, that's because I won. I don't howl over getting outsmarted. You see, that's a negative thing.
Okay. I think I know why, but I haven't. I'm out mathing right now, but I can figure out theoretically why that would work.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, first question of your gauntlet category: finish him. The flag of what country features a red dragon on a white and green field?
Locked in.
Our answer's locked in.
All right. Thank you. Question 2 of your gauntlet. Metal band Gojira made headlines in 2024 when they performed their song Mea Culpa Asira, accompanied by dramatic visuals, including a seemingly beheaded aristocrat, fire cannons, and blood streamers. Where did they perform?
Believe it or not, Dev, I've got on this.
All right.
My fiance's brother apparently is a big Gojira fan and made me watch a performance.
I just have a clarifying question in the chat for you.
That's more of a clarifying question for Zahkia than for me. You see what I put. Is that specific enough, or do you want a different type of specificity?
No, I think that's fine.
All right. Then we should lock that in, Dave.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it, mate. I've got nothing.
Locked in.
Okay. Question 3 of your gauntlet. Category finish him. The bones of the human spine are often labeled using an alphanumeric code. What are the 3 letters that can precede a number to indicate specific sections of the spine?
See, that's the one I was thinking.
Locked in.
Yeah, so Zahkia, this is a hard one to answer because it seems like there's more there than you said. I definitely have had my spine checked. So there's the C, there's the T, there's the L, and there's the S. I had my back doctor tell me that I have a herniated disc right by my S1 or S2 or wherever the heck it was, which is part of my spine. So I'm not sure which letter you want us to leave out.
In that case,
no, your question is correct, Zahkia, and the doctor should know that.
I trust the doctor here, and I would also say, just give me 3 letters that you think are correct.
Here, I'll clarify for you. I'll say it here.
Oh, Nick, what are you sending?
Oh no,
Nick.
I mean, I'm fine with your.
Yeah, I think
CTL.
C, T, and L are absolutely unequivocal. I think I would include S, but you could argue it. So,
okay,
C, T, and L, locked in.
Okay. All right, let's collect answers. So the flag of what country features a red dragon on a white and green field? Jonathan and Dave, what'd you guys say?
We debated between Bhutan and Wales. They felt like they both had dragons, but Dave thinks that Bhutan has orange on it, not white and green, so we went Wales.
All right, and Nick and Steve, what did you guys say?
Bhutan and Wales are the 2 countries with the dragons on the flags. Wales is green and white in the background. We went with Wales.
Okay. Gojira made headlines when they performed their song with a beheaded aristocrat, fire cannons, and blood streamers. Nick and Steve, where'd you guys say they performed?
We had no clue. I've never seen Gojira. I've never heard. I have heard of them, but I've never heard of the song or the concert. But since Red Dragon was in the question, we went with a concert venue that had red in it. We said Red Rocks.
All right. And Jonathan and Dave, what'd you guys say?
So when I was in Michigan for SporkleCon earlier this year, a couple days before that, Sarah and I stayed with her brother John, and John was showing us videos of the ray guns performance at the Olympics, and then he wanted to show us a video of one of his favorite bands that performed at the Olympics as well, and they were called Gojira. So we said Gojira.
You didn't say Gojira.
We didn't say Gojira. We said the Olympics.
Yeah.
And that was 100% Jonathan. My guess was maybe Japan, because Gojira is Godzilla in Japanese. Maybe they're a Japanese band. I don't know. But thank you, Jonathan, for knowing that.
Nick, I fear their answer has a little more foundation than ours.
Haven't seen the documentary that they're talking about in the question. I think it seems more valid.
The bones of the human spine are used, well, what letters are for your spine? Goodness, words. Nick and Steve, what'd you guys say?
So alphanumeric code, there's the cervical, the thoracic, and the lumbar, which would be CTL. Some people think that the sacrum has a number after it, but the sacrum's a single bone. So you can't have it between S1 and S2 because it's only one bone. Therefore, no numbers.
And to be honest, Nick, I think anyone who even considered that should be marked wrong.
I agree, and potentially if
my
they
license in
have an
jeopardy now?
ND, maybe their license should be looked at. I'm just saying.
All right. Jonathan and Dave, what did you guys say?
I mean, I've had a doctor absolutely refer to my S1.
They are fused, but also distinct. But we went with CTNL just for the sake of giving a clear, unequivocal answer.
Some of us have more fused than others.
Oh, my goodness. So it's time to reveal. I will start with the thing you guys unequivocally agreed on. The dragon flag is Wales. Nice job.
Nice.
Though there is contention between the two teams. You guys gave me the same answers, CT and L. That is correct. I am also, in Nick's schools, I wasn't counting the sacrum. But you know what? I'm not a doctor. So there's that. Yeah. But it really comes down to the second question where there was a divergence. The metal band Gojira is not Japanese. They are French. And they performed their song Mea Culpa a Sera with a beheaded aristocrat, fire cannons, and blood streamers to mimic the French Revolution at the Olympics this year in Paris.
Woo! See that,
Great
Nick?
work, Jonathan.
It's a woo of celebration, not a of being outsmarted.
So the theme for the gauntlet were all fatalities that happen in the Mortal Kombat games. The dragon is Liu Kang's. There is a brutality where you can literally knock someone's head off with an uppercut. And Sub-Zero pulls spines out. So that
Wow, that's a deep cut.
yeah. Trash game. We know who one team got the gauntlet, one team did not, but let's find out what the wagers were. Nick and Steve, you were trailing. What did you wager and why?
Well, the first thing I was saying, Nick, in hindsight, if the goal was just to have accumulated the most number of points, that wasn't that bad a bet in the end, knowing that now in hindsight we got it wrong.
Knowing that we got it wrong, it was a solid bet.
I did want to keep on my theme of what is the thing Jonathan would expect the least in terms of a team in which I'm a part of. We bet 2.
You bet 0?
No, we bet 2. I've bet 0 before.
You bet 2. Well, that's actually a great bet. We bet 9. We bet 9.
That's exactly why.
That's great.
I said that in the text, Nick. We're going to bet 2. They're going to bet 9.
I couldn't figure out why 2 was a thing, but I didn't even think about them betting 9.
That's great,
we should have. Oh, they got it wrong.
That's so good. You should have got your questions right. It's amazing.
I wouldn't have mattered. You got it.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Anyway.
You still got 9. Yeah. But if you had been wrong and we had been right, to win by 1 point, that would have made Jonathan exclaim in being outsmarted.
I would have. Yeah. I can't lie. I would have looked up to you for beating us in that fashion. Yes, that was well done.
Wow. Okay. So with a final score of 179 to 158, Jonathan and Dave, you have won. Actually, let's frame it this way. Jonathan and Dave win. Flawless victory.
Oh,
Here you go.
There were so many
flawless victory, Nick.
You have to have a flawless victory in the gauntlet. That's the whole point of the gauntlet. No flaws.
Wait, isn't there like a friendship finisher?
Yes, there is a friendship. So you can shake hands and be friends and take
This was
selfies.
a friendship finisher.
Aw,
So we have to
friendship.
pull out all 4 parts of anybody's spine.
That's the coccyx too. Aren't there 5 parts of the spine?
You could count that, yeah.
You're a coccyx.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout outs and promote causes that they care about. Dave, you're today's big winner. You're up first.
All right, so I would say support this podcast. You can give a little,
I like
you can
that
give
one.
a lot, but like just getting access to the exclusive episodes and being able to be on the show is so much fun. It is absolutely worth it. Do it.
Love that. Thank you very much. Steve, you're today's biggest loser. You're up.
Yes, I am. so many ways, Jonathan. Oh, nothing major from me. I mean, much love to everyone involved in Oaks Media Group, to the Trivial Warfare community. I know I haven't been on the podcast in a while, but nothing but love for everything you've built here, Jonathan. Always listening and love being a part of it.
We love having you as a part of it, my friend.
It's time for another After Dark, isn't it, Jonathan? It's been,
you know
been
what?
a minute.
Honestly,
we should probably put one of those together.
Well, actually, I do want to get this on the air, Jonathan, because I mean, this is one of the reasons I've held back. Is I feel like my most recent recording is still somewhere lost in the canon, being the After Dark episode from Jacksonville 2022, which I don't think ever got released.
We'll never see the light of day.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can understand why. I'm sure it was.
It was real bad.
It was so bad. We had people tag teaming in and out of the game. We had multiple people who got too drunk to play.
Started with Jonathan, didn't it?
Yeah, I think I might have been the first.
Carmela came and Jonathan bailed, and
me and Nick started it and left and came back after other people had made messes and whatnot and came in and finished because we had gotten sober between the time that we started and the time that it ended.
Yeah. That was a fun episode only because Jonathan went, I'm too drunk, and Carmela's here, I'm out. With Nick and Carmela here, we have two people who know what they're doing. It's going to go great. And then somebody else walked up the stairs and I went, if Jonathan can leave, I'm out. So well,
this is one of the reasons I'd love to hear one, even though it's not possible for actual publication, because I made it through. Like I mean, I don't remember a single question from that, but I know I was there start to finish, and I think I had 4 partners throughout the recording, but held it together.
Have some
polyamory. I know I was partnered with Carmela at some point, with Nick at some point. I think was either Paul McLaughlin or Joe or someone
in there.
Came and tagged in at some point.
Yeah. No, that was one of the things that conceptually that was a really good idea, and I'm glad we tried it. And it should never ever happen again, nor should that episode.
You'll notice when we were in Denver, I was thrilled when Adam and John wanted to host their game because I knew I wasn't going to try and host a game during a party. Absolutely not. I won't do it again. All right. Well, guys, that is going to wrap us up. So for Dave, for Steve, for Nick, and Zahkia, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 514 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.